Hey, what's up, everybody? It's your boy Big Game James, and you are in the Chop Shop. That's right, it's your boy Big Game James, the musicologist A. Reed, and the buff nerd Jay Stocks.
Let's go.
Fellas, what's going on?
Chilling.
Yeah.
I'm buff too.
Nah, man. You see these?
You know,
Look at that. Boy, I
I
got
mean,
some gyrations.
I ain't as big as you.
I
I
got
ain't got all that.
gyrations.
Hey, man, you buff. Not to take anything away from the musicologist, y'all. We're not trying to call him.
Nah.
It's
Nah,
not like we
nothing
said.
like that.
It's
I
not
know
like
he
we
like to
said.
flex
It's not like we said the scrawny musicologist. We just said musicologist. But
he
we
like to
wanted,
flex every
and we
show.
wanted to be real with it. I could
Oh,
trump. I made both of y'all put your arms
oh.
down real quick, but it's all good though.
I
Man,
mean, we
you
did
been
play
you
in the
been
NFL though.
nah, he been lifting since 1972. Him and Arnold Schwarzenegger, man. Boy, you came out the womb lifting.
Hey,
Ain't
nah.
nobody
72,
the
72,
chopper.
huh?
72. Ever since 1972.
How old am I, Jay? That's
Man,
good
well, there's theories. There are theories out there.
Oh,
Hey,
What's-
what
what's
you
on
can
the
do?
card?
You know what
And
you
I
can
always
do with
was
you
right.
and your theories?
Well, here we go. We're going to start the show off. Let's do it, man.
Hey, I'm nice. I'm not being mean today. Hey, man,
Oh, today.
a lot going on in the sports world, man. But this weekend, the South
Yes, sir.
Carolina Lady Gamecocks beat
Hey.
the Yukon Lady Huskies for Dawn Staley's second national championship. And first and
good job,
foremost,
girl.
man, pick up the Coach Dawn Staley and what she's trying to do for the women's game, and all the love and stuff she gives to her team, man. And they totally buy in. And at any point in time during that game, y'all, were y'all afraid or nervous that UConn was going to come back and upset South Carolina?
No,
Yes.
Yes and no.
Yes.
Reed, you say no. Why? Why? What did you see that made you think they never had anything to worry about?
destiny, man. Destiny. That team was destined to win it, bro. That team was just destined to win it. They wanted it. You know what I'm saying? From it, just watching them through the whole the whole NCAA tournament, man. Them girls are serious. You know what I'm saying? Y'all can attest to it. When you got a situation where you can really buy into what that coach is saying, man, you can work wonders, man. You can work miracles, And then it was also amazing just to even see Dawn Staley, like, she gave a shout out to all the players, like, that didn't even play in the game. She's like, but you got to understand, like, y'all still helped us. You know what I'm saying? Like, even though you didn't get in the game, like, you have been preparing us for all of these teams. So it's a whole winning effort. It's something about being able to be and like be in a situation to play for a coach like that. You would know it, man. Like with Tony Dungy, like that makes you want to like do great things, man. And destiny is a real thing, man, when it comes to sports. So.
Hey man, you're right though, Reed. You got the point you made, and it wasn't funny, but my wife and I, she was like, "Hey, a whole shout out to that bottom third of the team that no one knows about."
Mm-hmm.
And I've watched many coaches praise their teams and give speeches after victories, and I'm feeling like that's the first time I remember hearing a coach shout out the bottom half of a roster that a lot of people don't talk about and speak on. Other coaches say, "Hey, it's a team effort. It's the entire team. It's everybody." But I feel like she took the time to really try to break that down and pinpoint the fact that she really appreciates everybody that does everything on that team, and it just speaks volumes about her. And Jay, you said you were nervous. I wanna hear
Well, I
what
mean,
your thoughts were on
dude,
that, bro.
it's Paige Buchers, it's UConn, it's Gino. I mean, we've seen them come from behind before. We've seen them, do some amazing things. So you never want to discount a team like this. It's not even a team; it's a program. I mean, you're talking about 12 championship games, not Final Fours, not Elite Eights, a Sweet 16, 12 championship games. So, yeah, I mean, until the final buzzer, until the final, double zeros, to me, it's, hey, they can come back. Now, yeah, once it gets, all right, yeah, cool. But, nah, I never discount them because you never know what can happen. I mean, we saw that in the men's game. I know we're going to talk about it, but you never want to discount anybody, especially with a program like that.
Yep, I feel you on that, and I
I agree.
think so much of UConn being that storied program and Gino Auriemma always having a way or a player, but at the end of the day, his guns didn't match the guns of South Carolina.
Yeah.
So normally South Carolina is that team that's a little deeper that has a lot of different weapons, but they're the team that came up. UConn came up short this time because South Carolina had weapons that no one accounted for. And it's funny because when Reed said Destiny, I really thought even the young lady number 3, Destiny. I'm trying to find her last name right now. But she was amazing. She came out in the game smoking. I think she finished with like 15 points. But the ball she shot early was a lot because uh, Alicia Boston, the big girl, the big player of the year, they kind of took her out of the game a little bit, or they didn't play big inside like they normally had, and they needed a spark. So even when it got close, 6 was the closest it got the entire game, at two different points. They found a way to hit a big shot and clamp down on defense and create the turnovers that ended up being, big for them to go ahead and shut the door on UConn and keep it where they couldn't come back. And I just think, and my whole moment from this whole thing is I get my wife is all hyped now, so I got to get her the sweatshirt that Dawn Staley was wearing, the WBB, the WBB sweatshirt. And we looked it up online, and it first came out because like women's basketball, and she was so big on that, but then also made it a battle cry when they lost in the Final Four last year to "We'll be back." And just they decided, and they made their minds up last year that they were going to get back to the Final Four, and if they got to the championship, they weren't going to give up that opportunity again. I just think it's a great story, man. And like you said, Reed, the kids have bought in and they believe in her, and I think they'll run through a brick wall for her, man. And that speaks volumes for your coach and what she's doing for that program.
Oh yeah,
it does.
I mean, she's a great coach. That's a great program that she has turned around and really, just moved it in the right direction. But like I said, man, when 6 points, what's 6 points to UConn? I mean, they have, excuse me, they have a history of Hall of Famers coming through that program. So
right,
but big up, and that goes to Coach Dawn and what she's done and how she has coached and said, look, they're gonna hit you. Are you ready? You know what I'm saying? They're gonna come back. Are you ready? So big ups to her. And South Kakalaki.
Shout out to the young lady I was talking about was Destiny Henderson's her name, and I liked her. I gave her a little background, and she said this whole thing is to make her feel like her life is finally validated because of all the turmoil and personal loss she's had in the last couple of years. She lost her father. I think she lost more family members to some certain, different things going on, just life. And it's just amazing because, we look at sports as an outlet, but yet sometimes I think fans forget that these athletes are people too, and they have a life and they go through things. Exactly. And for her to be able to, turn her life around, I say turn around, but when I say that, I really mean keep it on track to achieve the goals she wanted to accomplish for the people that were no longer with her. I just thought that was big, man. Just the way she spoke after the game, and I was saying she was a CeeLo from California because she had like the little braids coming out her head, man. She was banging on the West Side, dog. I love the whole look, man.
We love those kind of stories, though.
Yeah, I do.
Okay,
and it's a feel good.
That I always have an issue with something because I guess that's just what I am.
Buff nerds do that, but it's okay, man. We love you for it.
Well, my only concern is that this validates all of that, right? Mm-hmm. And just verbiage for me. Look, you are who you are. Your greatness. Understand that, and not having played on the pro level, but just understanding life. A lot of times, the validation that we get out of certain things and certain people, I think right there is where you just kind of have to take a step back and say, look, what if you didn't what if you didn't win? Are you validated still? Do you feel like everything you've gone through still puts you in a good spot? You're still in a good place? So that's my only thing with that is that the win validates all of that work. No, the work validates the work. The end result, you going to the pros, that validates it. Everyone's seeing how well and how good you are. That validates it. Not the win. If you don't win, it's not just because of you, right?
Bro,
I
I feel where you coming from on that, Jay. But I don't think she meant it to that point. And I think this is the one thing, the way I guess I looked at it is, when you're young and you go through different things, you feel an accomplishment when something else kind of it feels a little triumphant over the loss you suffered prior to, right? So her being a young lady like she is, and as young as she is, maybe that moment was the biggest thing for her to feel like it made her feel like she served a purpose. Not that she would feel any less of a purpose if it wasn't a national championship or wasn't a win. I just think for some reason, when you're in that moment of winning and on that stage and hoisting up a trophy and the stage is as big as it is, I think there's always something from your past that can make you feel a certain way when it comes to playing at a better level. So I think, honestly
you think about everything that you've gone through up to this moment,
right?
All the sacrifices that you've had to make and stuff like that. The long nights, all those practices and whatnot. So I mean, it can definitely be an emotional thing, man, for anybody.
Yeah. So I think it's a mix of everything, Jay. I don't think it was like to me, if South Carolina doesn't win that game, it doesn't make me feel any less or think any less of those young women on that team.
Right.
But because they got so close the year before, losing in the Final Four, when they were favored to win, I think I can see how they all interpret it like they had to have this win. It does validate them in a sense, but I don't think it really comes down to that, because we knew before they were a damn good team, and we know in the tournament it's all about who gets hot at the right time on the right night, who's hitting shots, who's missing shots, and because you look at UConn and like you said, Paige, they were off, man. I mean, they did I think she had 15 points. A 13-point high, something like that. I mean, it was just, and it wasn't enough collaboratively, but at the same time, the defense that South Carolina played was amazing, and I think like no other that UConn saw in the tournament until that championship game.
Oh yeah, no, look, I get that fact of, you work very hard, and like Reed said, the practices, the long nights, the giving up of time, the giving up of friends. When you could have done this or been there or whatever. And, the validation of the culmination of all of that to that point, sure, okay, all of it is worth it. Like I said, just in the moment, I don't know, but, hey, big up to them. Like I said, hey, they won. They did it. They knocked off the Giant. My question is, and that's what I posed before, was, is this the beginning of the end for Geno?
Wow.
That's in the UConn program.
I wouldn't think so. If he's still getting that program to the championship, man, why would it be?
I mean, you got Mulkey at LSU. Baylor is still a big program. South Dakota is trying to do some, apparently. South Carolina.
Louisville has turned their women's program around big time,
Louisville,
too.
Notre Dame is still a good program.
Stanford.
I mean,
Stanford. This is going to bring me on a point. That's something that we had talked about a few weeks back.
What's that, Reed?
This is why women's sports need to stay women's sports. And it don't need to be no mixing in it. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Well,
I think because seriously, I think it's wonderful to see that women can go out there and compete just like men can do. You know what I'm saying? In their own realm, in their own league and stuff like that. And just give it their all. You know what I'm saying? Them girls was out there. They was out there balling. I'm telling you right now, any of them girls would probably beat me in one-on-one. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I'm just straight facts. Just straight facts.
I was saying most of them.
You know what I'm saying?
Yes. I know they'll beat me.
Probably damn near all of them. You know what I'm saying?
I know they'll beat me, honest, so I ain't got to worry about it.
You know what I'm saying? You got to look at the hard work and dedication that they put in just as well as just like the guys. So that's why. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, because Aaliyah Boston is a monster in the paint, dog.
Man,
I know she'd back me down and be able to drop step, and she had the shimmy and everything like a king, man. She has a good overall game, and it was some great basketball played. in that women's tournament, man. And
Oh,
it's
yeah.
so funny because here it is Saturday. We have a Final Four party for the men's side, and all my wife said to everybody was, "Don't y'all forget about the women's getting the championship tomorrow." And I was like, "Baby, ain't nobody gonna forget." Nah, there ain't no other people talking about it. Hey, don't forget about the women's championship. Make sure y'all get them girls they love and they respect. And it was great basketball, man. And I do honestly hope that all basketball enthusiasts took some time out to watch those games and that throughout that entire tournament and how they played. And they had some upsets on the women's side this year that you normally don't have. It's normally like the higher seed normally takes the lower seed out all the way through, and they had some shakeup a little bit along the way. And it's just big for the game, man. It was cool, good feeling. Like I said, and I think that's why I wanted to lead off the show tonight with Dawn Staley and the South Carolina Gamecocks. And to that question, Jay, and read your point about keeping the game, and we know we're talking back about to relate a little bit to that swim story that we saw.
Right.
That certain things have to stay, certain things to stay pure for the overall enhancement of that sport, right?
Um,
You don't want to see LeBron in there?
No, I don't want to see Juwan Man. I mean, LeBron James.
Where,
no,
bro. I mean, it's not hard.
Ooh, that got me choked.
It's not hard to see that some of these girls may, quote unquote, live a certain lifestyle of dating other females.
I ain't talking about that. We're talking about the game.
I'm not saying that. It's when you have something like that in a situation where you have. Just imagine if one of the schools had allowed a man to come into the program.
Bruce Jenner.
I don't care if he's sitting there talking about I'm transgender. He was a man.
His name is Bruce to me. Sorry.
Caitlin.
Well, he's Bruce. His name is
Caitlin.
Bruce.
Caitlin.
But if they really had did that and allowed that, you know what I'm saying? And he's out here just
he's the woman of the year, bro.
30 points a game and 30, 40 points a game. Like, it ain't right, bro.
Right.
It wouldn't be right.
Bruce Jenner was the woman times woman of the year. Respect her. Respect her, man.
Again, like I said. But to get back to the point
Bruce
I was trying to make beforehand, your question, Jay Stoggs.
Yes, sir.
You really had me scratching my head earlier today when I was thinking about it. Because you think, you go back to the days of UConn, so they've been around forever. And then Pat Summitt back in the day before her health declined and she had to step away.
Yes. Pat Summitt,
but
she
those
was awesome.
teams that those Lady Tennessee Vols had.
She was awesome.
What Gino's done for the game. But he is looking like it was certain parts during out this tournament. He said the right things, but Gino looked like he just wanted to go. Man,
look, the body language.
Yeah, Jay, you're right. The body language was off for me, man.
The body language for the past 3-4 years, to me, just seems, like you said, it seems off. I don't know, man. I think next year, maybe in a couple of years, to see these recruiting classes come through, like I say, you're starting to see that, the talent isn't just going strictly to UConn. Right. Now that they're going to, again, the South Carolinas, the Stanfords, the Baylors, the Notre Dames, the South Dakotas, the the LSUs. Mulkey is now down there. So I mean, you're starting to see the Stanfords, the USCs. You said they're starting to move out and say, you know what? We don't have to go to UConn. We can make our own name here, and I think a lot of it is also going to depend on the WNBA. And how well they do to ensure that the game grows, right, on that level. Because I know they can go overseas. But,
that's a good question, though. How could WNBA grow? How could it grow to like how the NBA is?
Well, we got to find a revenue stream somewhere, Reed. And I don't know if it's tickets, TV, whatever, to try to help generate a little bit more. And the men's game gets so much more revenue.
TV.
From the TV market than the women get.
They shouldn't have to be going overseas to get more money,
bro. But let me ask you all a question. And
I don't agree with that.
Okay, let me. And I'll say this: to get more. Some of the higher contracts in the WNBA are 200-some thousand. I think it's the highest. Now, as an average salary in America, $200,000 is still good. Now, is that fair? I'm not saying that. Listen to what I'm asking you. Now, and let's say just Brittany Griner's case.
Yeah.
She hated Russia, but because she could go make $1 million in Russia, she went and she sacrificed going there for that money. But she wasn't getting paid just super peanuts in the United States. You know, people would love to live off of $200,000 to $300,000 a year.
Yeah, but I think the other part too is you look at, partnerships, and these guys have like shoe deals, or they have other types of deals that help subsidize their pay as well. Okay. So yeah, they're making $200 million, but you also have shoe deals that's paying you. You also have other types of sponsorships that you have that are paying you.
Right.
Nobody is looking for Brittany Griner to do something. Nobody's looking for Liz Cambage to do something, or Skylar Diggins, or any of these players to come in. You know what I'm saying? Like, dude, there are players. Look, I watched the game, okay?
Yeah.
There are some awesome players. And listen, I'm a man, so I'm going to say it. There are some beautiful, gorgeous, wonderfully built players that play the game, and for whatever reason, the WNBA just doesn't want to promote its players in any way. They're not on TV. They're not getting sponsorship deals. They're not getting shoe deals. I think Nike and the Jordan brand just signed 7 players like this past year.
Wow.
This is the first time that they've done that, right? But it's one of those things where it's buried. The story is buried, and you don't even know who they are or when it happened.
They have to find a way to better promote them, because I don't think they want to at least try. They don't want to promote none of their players in a sexual kind of reference. And
True.
the NBA, I know it's about the male players, but we still have skimpy, cheerleaders,
Absolutely.
And that and the third. So
Absolutely.
you get the eye candy. You necessarily don't get eye candy like that in the WNBA and stuff like that. Like you said, it's probably about like a small percentage of them that are just outright gorgeous, that are just out there hooping.
More.
It's a percentage.
Everything has a percentage. But all I'm saying is this, when you only have 12 teams, right, and you're trying to put them on TV in the summer, and what gets me is there's nothing going on in the summer except baseball. Nobody really watches baseball anymore.
Right.
So, like, they're trying to figure out, come on, Reed. I mean, I'm with you, bro, but realistically, no one watches it because it's too long. They don't go out to the stadiums, right?
Too hot.
It's too hot. Bro,
I will sit
MLB.
But you don't go every week to every home game, Reed.
I don't have a chance to go to every home game. If I had the chance to, I would.
I go 2 or 3 times a year.
I played baseball as a kid, man. So
every year. Same.
I give you that, brother. I give you all that.
Same. 2, 3 times a year. But I'm just saying, man, nobody watches baseball like that. You know what I'm saying? They just don't. So you have an opportunity. Football's off. Basketball is ending or going off. Hockey's not being played. At some point in time, what do we do? What do you do?
That is interesting. I want to know more about this. The WNBA is a part of a forced narrative.
I know. I don't know if Keith is still on watching, if he wants to elaborate a little bit more on that.
Please elaborate on that, Keith. That was awesome. That's an awesome point.
On that comment, but he says the WNBA is part of a forced narrative. So do you guys think that the NBA and all of the equality and the Me Too type stuff is forcing the narrative of us even having a conversation of them being compensated closer to what men are compensated? Is that what you think?
I wouldn't say closer, but they have to be compensated better than what they are.
Yeah. Now, Jay, my whole point, what I was going to ask earlier, and this is so funny because I know talking to someone, women, female players, and like even my wife, being offered offered the chance to go play overseas back when she was in college and decided to turn it down. But even back then, we used to talk about, she's like, yeah, I can get on here. If not, go overseas, play, then I can try it again over here. all the girls do this all the time. Anyway, it was almost like the expectation was when women graduated college, and the ones who did make it either back then, I remember it was the ABL, right, and the WNBA, and then the ABL went away, and then the WNBA took over all of it.
Yeah.
But the girls would go back and forth, and it was just, I don't even know if they had to do it, but someone wanted to play basketball year round. We don't ask men here to play basketball year round, and now all of a sudden, everyone's saying, well, it's the compensation and the money. Women have to play year round to make the same kind of money. I don't think that they have to play year round to sustain the lifestyle they want to sustain. I think it's a choice they make because it's been the norm of how it was done for so long.
It's all choices. But, bro, I mean, look. Wait, let me read this. You know, point like even bring it. But you know what? You know what, Keitho? They win more than the men. The men's national team, are trash. They are garbage. The women's national team consistently win. Consistently. Yet they are paid way less. Now, we could talk about the WNBA, and to me, the WNBA and the soccer are two different things because they are proven winners. They have people that come to the games. When they go overseas, people come out all the time to watch them. And, you know, we talk about going back and forth. You know, before when the WNBA first started, they had more. I think they had like 20 teams or 20, like 8. They had quite a few teams, right? But those teams started to fold. And, you know, going back to the point of a forced narrative, you know, it was really one of those things where, the Me Too movement in the NBA was basically there was no support for WNBA. There was none, right? And I think you had a lot of people that were just getting into it just to say, I own a team, number one. And number two, they were getting into it, but they did not know women's basketball, which is different. And so when you have people that don't know a product, right, and that's why you have the XFL and the USFL again, or USSFL, whatever it is, and the USAA, whatever football league, whatever new football league comes around, excuse me, it fails because you can have football people around, but if your product isn't up to that point, isn't on par, people won't buy it. People won't go out. They won't watch it.
Old XFL was legit. The old XFL was pretty legit.
Well, even the new one was taking off in the right direction. And COVID shut it down.
Yeah. So I just seen what the USFL is about to come. I think it's like on the 16th.
And now y'all know The Rock purchased the XFL from
I heard about that.
The Rock was trying to. He had two moves he tried to put into place, and nobody wanted to team up with him. He offered to join the Canadian Football League because they play more of a spring summertime, and also to combine with the USFL. And they did not want to bring this product, but at the same time, it would have helped. It would have helped expand the product even more. And now the way it worked out, I don't think the XFL team. I mean, the XFL and the USFL didn't have any overlapping teams, so you wouldn't be able to have more teams, a bigger schedule, a little bit more diversity, I think. And I hope it works out because at the end of the day, I just think it's good for some young people that know they're going to have that 3-year stint in the league.
Aren't they playing in Birmingham?
They were
all the games in Birmingham or something like that
for USFL.
Yeah,
is it?
Is it one neutral stadium? I thought that was just one place. I know somebody
stadium.
Was talking to me in one of my Buccaneers groups about where the Tampa Bay team was playing.
Yeah,
I got to check and see.
Check that because I also thought maybe they were playing at the old Rangers Stadium.
But it was one team. Yeah, they was playing.
Well, that's where the XFL team played. They played at Globe Life,
and they shut down.
They used to play at Globe Life until it shut down.
Yeah, shut it down. Right. So that's why I was thinking, okay, that's where they were going to play. But now I'm hearing it. See that goes back to the point, man, to WNBA. If you want it to grow, you have to show love to the sport. It being a forced narrative.
You're right.
Yeah, they're all playing in one spot.
All USFL games will be played in Birmingham, Alabama. So why even have different city and team names if
It's ridiculous.
I hear you, Keith. Keep over there speaking, dog. I feel you. Why couldn't the NBA?
I'm gonna put that? Okay, Jay beat me
I
to
got
it.
you.
Good.
Yeah, that's a dope comment. Why couldn't the NBA as much revenue and as much as they do? Why couldn't they put some money aside to help that grow? You know,
Well, the NBA.
I would think that they are, even though there's like their sister company, sister
Yeah.
entity.
Right.
You know, it still encompasses NBA.
Well, they're starting to do it
You know what
now.
I'm saying? So the NBA should be able to, set some money aside to help these, help the revenue
Yeah.
come. Over on that side, more
Well,
pro bowls and stuff like that.
I mean, they're starting to do that now. That's why they're including them in the All-Star games and stuff like that to try and showcase some of the players. But the reality is back to, we did a story. We did a oh hell no. I did a whole hell no a couple of weeks, probably a couple of months ago, about the New York Liberty being fined by the WNBA.
Yeah,
because they put them on charter jets to go to the away games. Like they were fined $500,000.
because the rest of the league couldn't do it. Reed, they fined the New York Liberty for being able to afford charter flights for their players. And my whole thing is, if your owner
away
has
games.
the money to put you on a charter plane and it does not hurt you, what does the league care that everyone else can't do it? You travel the way you're able to travel.
That's
You don't-
haterade.
you're not-
That's haterade.
You're not going
haterade.
to stop the New York Knicks from flying on their charter plane to go play,
No,
right?
Bro.
That's haterade, bro.
Because everyone else may not have one. This is what I think.
That's like the NBA finding Mark Cuban for having the state of the art equipment
absolutely.
here in Dallas for the Dallas Mavericks.
Absolutely.
But everybody, but Cleveland and all the other ones can't afford it. So Mark Cuban, we
Absolutely.
Right.
That's what.
Right.
Absolutely. But I mean, that
All
goes
the
to
way
show
around.
you the type of leadership that they have, because
That hate mentality that, well, I ain't even finna start.
Well,
how women
because
can
here's
be.
the thing, they
I
actually
love you, women, but you know how some women can be.
Well, they were actually talking about finding them $1 million, taking draft picks, and even booting the owners. Like saying that they have to, the owners would be booted out, and they need new ownership.
That's ridiculous.
And what stemmed from it was the fact that they were missing the flights were being canceled. The players were being cramped because they were putting them in not first class of business. They were putting them in coach. Right, so you got a 6'2", 6'3", 6'7" player sitting in coach, and then they got to play once they land. So they land, they get there, maybe do a run through, play.
Yeah,
Bro,
I mean, I think
come
that was
on.
ridiculous. That when you did the story, we talked about how there was a perfect oh hell no, I know it's stupid, but this is my whole thing: the women's game and the men's game is never going to be the same.
But-
You cannot ever imagine it being the same. That's one thing we're gonna have to get over.
No, not revenue wise or nothing.
Yeah,
like
not
that.
revenue.
Well, just the game in itself. But that's
Well, Jay,
what's
but
the problem with that?
that's not a problem. And you
The
made a very good
WNBA
point.
doesn't have because the WNBA doesn't have. They have stars, but they don't have stars that draw people like that. And I guess it's because see you scrunching up your face, but like for real, like it's like the most that you ever hear of them is when they be on ESPN. Like other than that, like
Well, if you follow
Oh,
the
wow.
game, yeah, it's a great one. I'm gonna put that up after I make this comment.
Finish your point. Pull
Yeah.
it up, and I'll answer that for you.
There are stars if you follow the game. There are
Ooh.
people who don't follow NFL. They haven't followed it for a while, and they couldn't tell you who. They'll tell you the big stars, but they couldn't tell you who's on the team. There are people that I know LeBron, or I know KD, or I know Steph Curry because they're on on TV as far as commercials. But if you said, hey, who's starting right now for the Minnesota Timberwolves, they couldn't tell you. Hey, who's starting for the Dallas Mavericks? Luka. Who else? Well, I don't know. I mean, there are people, they just don't follow sports like that. They don't follow certain sports. We love sports, but if I asked you, to name 3 F1 Formula drivers, could you do it?
no.
But it's sports,
I
right?
couldn't name one.
So, I mean,
The
that
black guy.
What's his name? There is one. What's his name?
The black guy.
Exactly.
Dude, you crazy,
So
Reed.
so
I feel you though, bro.
but that's the point that I'm trying to make is, if you want to get into the game and know who's what, follow the game. If you follow the game, you will know some of these players that are out there that are doing the damn thing. Besides Skylar Diggins, Liz Cambage, and Brittany Griner. We only know Brittany Griner at this point. Well, we've always kind of known her, but the whole Russia thing.
No, I feel you.
Right?
Women,
Sue Bird.
WNBA, I think y'all should get paid more.
Elena Deladon.
I think y'all should get paid more.
I guess my point was, and we're going to hit this for leave that up there for a minute, Jay. My point was going to be, it's not going to be the same. You have to know the product, like you said, like you and Reed said. If you know what you're dealing with, you know what you're expecting from the game, you'll find a way to enjoy that game and then support it. Because if you like the sport, I can love women's basketball like I like men's basketball, but I may watch them for two different reasons.
Mm-hmm.
Then you watch it.
And ownership, I think, from NBA teams should just get into owning one of both and help that league grow. And we can talk about that some more later.
There you go.
So Keith posed a question. Says, Big James, let me ask you, do you think these female NFL coaches are teaching world-class athletes anything? I believe they're taking spots of qualified guys. First and foremost, let me say this. If we know the NFL, I will say this, the NFL will pass certain things around and make certain things happen for its portrayal to the media. So they're going to sell women being put in positions, just like they try to highlight when first minorities get positions, right? Are all these women athletes women coaches teaching world-class athletes anything? I believe if the coaches that are bringing them in really believe in them enough to give them a job, that they are bringing something to the table. I'm not going to sit there and say I played the game at the highest level you can play it. I'm not going to sit up here in my mind and tell me that a woman couldn't tell me how to play the game in some aspect or some form. Now, I've never been in that situation to where I've had people coach me that never really played the game, but we're still damn good coaches. So if those males could come in and end up being damn good coaches off of never really playing at a high level, I think some of these women coaches can do it also.
I think Keith is giving an example, like, and I'm not sure, but I'm thinking of what he's saying in this comment. It's like, could a woman come in and teach the linebackers, how to be what they needed to do?
Why not?
I'm just saying, like.
No, I feel exactly what Keith is coming from. That's why I said I don't think that women are.
Could a lady come in and teach the D line?
If you committed enough to try to put in the amount of hours of time it takes to be a football coach as a female, that means you're willing to put in some kind of work to learn.
And I agree.
Now, I guess the real point is, will players take that coach as serious as a male coach? And I think that's more the problem than anything. I think getting some players to buy in to the female coach will probably be harder than that female actually knowing what they're doing. Now, at the same time, it's a new generation and age. These younger players may be more open to it than I am. You know what I'm saying? Now, for me to sit up and tell y'all, yeah, man, I can play for a woman. I can tell you that in 2022, and I'm 47 years old. Ask me that when I was 23 years old, first coming into the league. Hey, man, Sharonda going to be your D-line coach. Who? Man, please. So Sharonda can't. I don't think I would have been open to that as a young player in the league. That's just the God-honest truth.
That's
the God-honest truth, dog.
I'll tell you, what they need to do, man. It's very simple. When the female coach comes, what she should do is she should just say, look, if you can beat me running around this track and not get tired before me, I'll quit. That's what they should do. And it should be raining. You know what I'm saying? He just run around the track.
You are not going to go to the movie Wildcats. You are not going to the movie Wildcats at this point. See, most people would have let you get away with that bullshit. I know exactly where you're coming from. Goldie Hawn.
Look,
I won the Boston Marathon
twice.
And all of a sudden, Wesley Snipes like, oh shit.
I'm just saying, you want respect, gotta get my respect.
Hey man, so that's my whole point, y'all. For me to sit up here and tell you now, hey man, be open to it, give them a chance. Now, I haven't talked to anyone in particular, but I've read different statements from some of the players on teams that these women coaches are stepping into and talking about, and said that they're doing a good job. Are they trying to be PC? Maybe. They're not speaking against it. I want to pull somebody to the side, but yo, dog, give me the real, give me the rundown. How's XYZ as a coach? And I want to know exactly what they think and what they feel. I would
like to know. I
really want to know that. So
I would like to know.
I appreciate Keith's question, man. I do, and I don't knock that question at all, because I think Keith really just had the gumption to ask us what a lot of guys think when you see, XYZ hired so and so as their run game coordinator. Okay, but they might be holding up cards in practice and showing the scout team what they run in their scout team.
But I mean,
how much input do they get as because we know quality control coaches are almost the equivalent of a grad assistant coach at a college level. So that's what quality control coaches do at the NFL
But I mean, if
level.
you're breaking into the league, that's what you're doing, though, right? I mean, you're not. I mean, how much input are you really putting in?
I think it just depends on what title they're giving.
It depends on the coach, right? It depends on
what they're going to give them, what they're going to let them do. Like I said, hats off to anybody. Like I said, I never one time had any desire to coach at the NFL level. After I saw, I would leave, my coaches would be there, and when I get back, they sleep up there at the facility sometimes too. Like, I want a life outside of this game.
Right.
On average, how many coaches do they have on staff, man, in the NFL?
Mike said they'll let the kid back coach in high school.
Get back.
Reed,
important.
You got your head coach,
right?
You got your offensive coordinator, your defensive coordinator.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes they're just that. Then you got quarterback coach, running back coach, wide receiver coach, tight end coach, O-line coach. Sometimes two O-line coaches. That's 9 right there. All right. Then on your defensive side, you got your D-line coach, your linebackers coach, secondary coach. You could sometimes have a DN coach and a D tackles coach, or you could have a safeties coach and a corners coach. It depends on what those coaches want to bring in.
Special teams coach.
And you got your special teams coach is normally one guy, and then he's going to have one of those quality control guys helping him out.
Because it's like you have like 20 coaches just be on the sideline.
And you're not even talking about scouts. You're not talking about none of that.
And think about it, I'm not trying to be funny, Jay, but a lot of scouts, you have a scout, you got your whole scouting department. You'll have your GM, your main personnel scout, and maybe like 2 other ones there. So you might have 4, and then everywhere else they have regional scouts. So they'll have guys like that live on the West Coast that scout that Pac-12 area, right? And it goes around like that. Then they all come in and meet before the draft. I mean, at the combine, before the draft, after the draft, mini camp, summer camp, training camp. Then they're out working again. It just goes down like that.
I'll tell you what, man. I just want to be the dude that gives the players the Madden like sliders. Like, that's what I want to do. That's the job I want.
Oh,
yeah, but that's not even with the team. I think that's working with.
I know it's not with the team.
Who does their stats?
Yeah, I want to rate every player that's ever played, and then give them their real stats. You know what I'm saying? But
and Keith, hey man, to your point, I believe it too, man. I believe there's some guys that are gonna miss out. That's just like, not trying to be funny. As a black male, I know there's gonna be black coaches that are qualified to and should get a job, and they're gonna miss out for some other reason that someone else is gonna get a job. Now at the same time, could one of those black minorities miss a job because they hire the minority as far as like the sex goes? They bring the female in, and so that black candidate, it's a no-win situation. And until we get to the point where we can really go off people's qualifications and keep it real, because this is my whole thing. I told somebody one day in the conversation, just for us to have to count the number of coaches that are black or of minority descent in the NFL already tells you that there's a problem. And we have to refer to a coach as an African-American coach. It's already an issue, because a good coach should be a good coach. I shouldn't give a damn what color he is.
No matter what his skin color.
In the year 2022, I still got to identify the coach and what color he is that's coaching that team. It's like,
But
There's so many more things that's so jacked up about everything.
But I mean, tell me, where has John Gruden played professionally?
John Gruden grew up in the game because of family members, man.
So that's my point. Is that you have a lot of coaches who are quote unquote good coaches, right? That have never played on a pro, some not even on a college level, but they understand the game so well. Now, look, my thing is this. If you're a good coach, you are a good coach. You are able to teach and relay a message to that person. You can teach leverage and you can be 5'2". You know what I'm saying? It don't matter. What matters is, are you relaying the right message to your players that they will understand, and then they can go out and execute.
Yep.
If you can't do that, then what the hell is you doing? You know what I mean? Look, I'm living with it here in Cowboy Nation. I have an OC who is trash.
But
he's never been good.
Jay, you know what's so hard about that whole thing, man?
What's that?
The emphasis is on winning so much now. Coaches don't even coach to what they used to, and they don't have the ability to coach because it's a results-driven league now, and everyone wants the instant gratification and satisfaction of winning. To where if you can't come in and help me win now, I got to move on from you and bring in somebody that's going to help me win.
And these coaches look like they having like two, maybe 3 years tops.
We brought in what, Zimmer? McCarthy brought in this dude.
Well, McCarthy's an idiot. He brought in a proven loser. I mean, I feel you. Hey man.
You know what I'm saying? So I mean, my point is this: whether it's a female, whether it's an alien, whether they polka dot stripe or whatever.
Alien, huh? Okay.
If you can get my squad to the Super Bowl and win,
yes, sir.
I don't care.
Got you.
I don't care.
Great.
I don't care. If a female can do it better than the OC we got, bring her in, bruh. Bring her in. Because there's got to be something better. So, you know, again, that point is there's football female leagues that are out there.
The lingerie league is bad, boy. I like that league. Sorry.
Okay. Okay. There's actually a padded league where they have one. Yeah, okay.
Yeah, they actually got pads on. Like
there's a full league. But, you know, I see where you are, the game. Thank you. I'm just saying.
I'm going to play some highlights on next week.
Okay, great. That's great. All I'm saying is, jeez. See, this is why my Facebook account is off, because of you. Look.
You blaming me for your Facebook account? That's messed up, though.
All I'm saying is that let the coaches be the coach. If it's a female, if it's a male, whatever. If you're a good coach, you're a good coach.
Right.
I feel you. And to your point, it shouldn't matter what you look like as long as you're respecting the squad, respecting your team, respecting your players, and respecting the shield.
And you know what you're doing. And you know what you're doing in your meeting room. Because a meeting room will tell you everything you need to know about that person that's in charge of that position. A position coach is going to tell you what you need, what you know, right?
Already.
We got his back,
Look,
Keith. Don't worry.
Hey, Keith, you're probably right. It's all good though, but I like what I like sometimes.
He got a big back. I got about half of his back.
It's entertaining. It is a wide back.
My back ain't as big as both of them.
That's why I said I got half.
Hey, but you know, all jokes aside, all fun. Hey, Tiger Woods, we're going to get to you next week.
Tiger Woods, y'all.
Tiger gonna play. He's playing. He said he's.
So Tiger, game time decision. Tiger decided he's a go.
That'll be good.
He says, as of right now, today, Tiger is a go. So you know what I'm doing for the Super Bowl of golf. I'll be right there. I'm gonna watch every stroke.
Oh, so you can watch that, but you can't watch baseball.
Yes, it's more exciting.
Reed, I can watch baseball. Like I can watch the opening inning, and I can watch the bottom of the ninth.
I'm
If it's a
saying
good
like
game. Somewhere in between, I get lost, bro. I ain't gonna lie to you.
I can watch golf too, though, but I understand.
look, I go
Keith, you're in Augusta. Cool.
to the games for hot dogs, soda pop, right?
Mm-hmm.
And whatever else I can't get at the house.
Hey, what's the thing you told me? You got Ranger what? Ranger, not
Oh, the
Ranger.
boomstick?
Yeah, the boomstick.
The boomstick.
I want
think
a
they got
boomstick.
rid of it though.
How you gonna get me hype about the boomstick and it's gone?
Hopefully they haven't. Because I know I complained last year. Boomstick is amazing. It's amazing.
Hey man, y'all, did y'all know? Well, Jay Stoggs just said his Facebook is gone. Hey Reed, how was WrestleMania, dog?
Wonderful, brother.
Hey,
wonderful.
I felt like I was there when you played the Stone Cold joint, dog. I want to say thank you for
You
that.
was there.
You are welcome. You are completely welcome. Because yes, I was in that thing.
Did you go both days?
No, I didn't go both days. I
Which
had
day you
tickets
go?
for both days, but I only went Saturday, and I ended up giving it to my Sunday ticket to one of my homeboys for my last job. He was a big wrestling fan, and he couldn't make it. Well, he didn't have the money to get the ticket. So he was like the first person when I had learned that WrestleMania was coming, he was like the first person I thought of. So I just gave him the ticket, man, and nice. He had a wonderful. Look
at that. Y'all hit up A Reed, man, musicologist. He'll give you free WrestleMania tickets.
I hooked you up. If I know you, man, and I show you love. But no, it was quite amazing. Man, I'm telling you, I became a wrestling fan all over again. To see what those guys do, like in real life, like it was dope. It was dope. They actually took time to do the Hall of Fame. Because they
oh really?
What they did
was
they had what was that Friday Night SmackDown at the
Friday Night SmackDown at AC.
Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah, then 2 nights of WrestleMania at AT&T. Then they had Monday Night Raw back over there at the AAC. But the Friday night they had the Hall of Fame.
Hey Keith, thank you, man. We really appreciate that, man. Big Low is my boy, and not to cut Reed off. Next week we're doing the Chop Shop mock draft, and Big Low Country is gonna be on with us next week.
Already, Big Low.
That's right, Bo.
Doing the what the world, Bo?
What's the world, Bo? Come on, Coach. Come on, Bo. For sure.
On the show next week.
Yeah,
mock draft. Sure. It might take a little bit longer than an hour, and Keith, I don't know if Big Low told you about the other show we got. That's the Big Game Sports Buzz on Thursday. So if you get a chance to fall into there, I don't piss as many people off on the Sports Buzz as I do the Chop Shop.
Me.
Just Jay Styles.
Yeah, he pissed me off.
That's my job, is to piss you off.
He be hating.
He doing well. CEO of that.
I'm the CEO of pissing off.
CEO of that.
Hey, I saw a shirt I want to get y'all.
Here we go. I thought we were talking about Stone Cold.
Go ahead. Stone Cold
coming out,
going through the crowd and stuff. Man, it was great.
He about like what, 78, 92?
About in the 60s.
He still got 2 knee braces on.
But he still got it. He still freaking got it, bro.
Does he?
Still got it.
I heard the stunner.
He gave him a stunner, all of that stuff. No, that was on the second night.
Yeah, that was the second night. That's why I'm like, yo.
But the one he did Saturday night was A1. And yes, Undertaker came out, Hall of Fame.
That's my guy.
All went crazy.
What?
All went crazy.
Yeah, I knew he was winning there.
Did I ever tell y'all about the time I met the Undertaker?
No.
I know he can't throw a football, though.
Hey, man, I felt little as hell. So, my days of playing in Tampa, man, a bunch of wrestlers live in the Tampa, Orlando area. And you would just randomly see dudes sometimes. They'd be like, yo, what's up, big man? How you doing? Good game. Mother, that's Mick Foley. He ain't got no teeth. What up? What up, Mick? So you can see all kind of people. So, long story
I just need to know, did you ever meet Randy Macho Man Savage?
Rest in peace,
man.
That's my dude.
Hey, dog, and I wish they had camera phones.
Oh yeah,
he and Hulk Hogan came in with one of the rock radio stations there, and they went through and they shook hands and they took pictures. And I said, oh yeah, brother. He said, oh, you mocked me pretty good. Come on over here. Oh yeah. So we stood up, we talked, we hugged, and I was like, man, I'm a big fan. And just when he died, man, it was like, you saw. Yeah. Hulk Hogan lived in Orlando. Randy Savage had a house in Tampa. the Undertaker had a spot in Tampa, so you would see them sometimes. So here it is. My house was out in this area called Citrus Park. Brand new area at the time, this mall, and it had a little Subway I used to like to go to get my when I was getting back in shape. I couldn't really eat too much, so I go get my Jared on and get my Subway. And so here it is. I'm in Subway.
Don't mention Jared again, bro.
Oh yeah, I know. My bad. Forgive me. Right. So I went. I got my little sandwich. They knew what I wanted when I went in there, and so I'm getting ready to come out.
You went in there a lot, huh?
And yeah, I did, dog. I did. So I got ready to come out, and before I could push the door, it opens, and I was like, "Who the hell opened the door?" And I was like, "God damn, it's the Undertaker." I was like, "What up, man?"
Yeah.
He said, "Hey, what's going on, big man?" And the thing is, dog, he every bit of 6'8", tall. He had on a black cutoff shirt, tucked in some jeans, some cowboy boots, and this big ass had a fanny pack on. And I was dead. I was like, "What you got in that little ass fanny pack?"
You don't want to know.
That fits you. But I said, "Hey, man, I'm a big fan." I was like, "Appreciate. Thanks for opening the door." We get to talking. I told him I would play for the Buccaneers. "Oh yeah, man. I try to catch games when I'm doing when I can, and you guys are doing great. Good to see you. Good to meet you." And dude, he was beyond big to where the lady, I think it's his wife now, the lady he was with looked like a toy. She was so short, so small compared to how gigantic he was. Yeah. And when I say he opened the door, when he shook my hand, it's like this. My hand, I felt like he just said. And like he just ate it up like a shark. I was like, "God, this is a big." Him and Shaq are the only two people ever in my life that made me feel little.
Yeah, I don't. I've seen Shaq before. I've never wanted to shake his hand. Karl Malone was like that too. I met Karl Malone. He shook my. I told him, "Don't you ever shake my hand again," because I never want to feel that small in my life. Like never.
Sure.
Like I'm not a small dude, but like I'm not a big dude. But that's stupid. That's dumb.
Yeah,
that's dumb.
I met Sean Bradley when I was a kid.
Oh my God, how big is Sean Bradley, dog?
There you go.
Like a freaking
7'6",
tallest oak tree you've ever seen.
Yeah.
Well, that's good. Hey, man. Autograph and and he shook my hand, and that thing was about 5 times my hand. So I was, whoa.
Yo, big up to the Undertaker though, aka Me Mark with the heart punch. If you know, then you know.
Yes, sir.
Mark Calloway.
Yeah.
Man,
you know what I mean?
show love.
That's my dude, crazy, man. That's my dude. The only guy to go undefeated in WrestleMania. Yeah. Understand what that is.
When I say that when the lights went black and you heard that boom, it was over. It was over. Man. It was over, man. Then when Stone Cold came out, the dude was right in the middle of his freaking promo, and then I was like, Stone gonna come, he gonna come out at any minute. I know it. And all of a sudden, you hear the glass break, and you just, the roof goes off.
I know the crowd.
Oh my God,
crazy!
My gosh, y'all,
that's awesome, dog.
My God, yeah, I'm gonna sing out the video. I'm gonna sing out a video of that one, man.
Okay. Then we got to get out of here.
Hey, yeah, we got like a minute and
that's
30
seconds.
We were supposed to do a new spot on this show called Would You Rather. We really didn't get to it. But because I know my man Reed prepared something, hey, Reed, I'm going to let you hit us both with one Would You Rather. And we got to answer this in the next minute and 15 seconds.
Cool. Okay. So would you rather take responsibility for losing the championship or have your teammate take credit for the win, even though you deserved it?
Take credit.
I have my teammate
take credit for the win. Credit. Yeah.
I'll give somebody else that part of the shine because we still all winning once we get that championship anyway.
Look, man, I have tried to be a punter on a championship team. Just to get a Super Bowl ring. I'll be a punt. I'll be the backup punter.
I play with cats that was gonna make it about them anyway. So you might as well go ahead and take that dub and let them do what they do and still know where you stand.
Hey, man, I don't want to be a Scottie Pippen, bro, but I got 6 rings just like Jordan. I mean, I could just walk around like that. But, hey, my ring just as big as his.
Y'all, please go catch the old episode, Pippen is Tripping.
That's a fact.
All right, Reed.
I'll be the backup punter.
All right, Reed,
I don't care.
Hit us with one more, dog.
One more?
Yeah,
okay.
Hit us with one more.
Would you rather have good uniforms with a rundown stadium or a state-of-the-art stadium with bad uniforms?
Give me the good uniforms in the shitty stadium because I don't have to sit in the seats. I'm playing on the field.
Nah, give me the stadium, man.
Stadium
Well,
in bad uniform.
Well, because he's gonna be riding the bench anyway, is what he's saying. So he want to sit on the bench in style.
Yeah. Because I'm figuring the stadium is going to be state of the art. It's going to be state of the art for me as well as a player. I may have some ugly ass uniforms. They may, whatever. But the tearaway jerseys.
I believe in looking good, make you play good.
See, that's that Tampa shit right there.
Stoggs would be the type that would want to play in the Vegas stadium, but be wearing like the Commanders.
Hey, Reed, you heard him with that one. You heard him with that, dog.
That's what he would do.
Hey, look, he did. He didn't want that.
That's what he would want.
This game is officially fucking over.
Hey, man. Hey, y'all. I appreciate everybody for tuning in.
Oh, my goodness.
Hey, another episode of The Chop Shop with Jay Stoggs, A. Reed, your boy Big Game James.
Yes,
don't forget to catch Big Game Sports Buzz this Thursday. We're doing our first giveaway. And so if you want to be entered to win in that giveaway, go to my Twitter page. Check out. That's at JKN97.
Giveaways.
Hey,
donations.
Eagles. You can say anybody else.
Subscribe, retweet, go to you making me forget. Go to YouTube, subscribe to that channel, enter for your chance to win some Big Game Sports Buzz swag. And I know we're running over, but I got to show this to the people real quick.
It's a dope move.
Yeah. It's a big game. Who you know that got it behind the scenes like behind the O-line soon as the QB say hype. It's big game, big game. Analysis from the player's point of view.
Hey, that's
that guy ain't working with it.
Hey, y'all don't know that cool, smooth music is by the musicologist right there. So again, man, hey, y'all tune in. Hey, thank y'all, everybody who came in tonight checking us out. ASAP, man, we want to still
most def ASAP.
Thank you. Appreciate y'all so much for putting us on the network, for us to be on Roku and Tiki TV and all those great things, man. So again, for A. Reed, the Buffalo Nerd, Jay Stoggs, I'm your man, Big Game James, and you've been watching The Chop Shop. We appreciate it.